Wanted to spend a second talking about something that is probably one of the biggest issues that I see come up again and again and again consistently in more in the United States than in most other places. I don't see it come up with our athletes that are here from other countries as immigrants. They don't have this. They sometimes develop this, but they don't have this off the get-go, and that is rewarding only with things that are going to be detrimental to what the person was just rewarded for. So, and I'll speak more on this, and a lot of times we connect it with showing our love and our gratitude and appreciation. So we get into that cycle and we don't know how to get out of it. And it's a problem. I'll tell you right now, I see it all the time. And it's not that we don't see it affect our kids. We do, especially as it relates to them associating with other kids, which you don't want to, take that opportunity away from people. At the same time, you need to be able to mix what you're rewarding people with. And for instance, so a lot of times people reward people with food. So and then all of a sudden we start rewarding ourselves with food. And I'm not saying that food isn't a good reward. Anything can be a good reward. But if it's something that is going to be like the only thing that's a reward, so if food or money is really like the only reward the majority of the time, and that looks like more of an incentive than a reward, meaning like the person expects that they're going to get that, then all of a sudden that's okay to get them to kind of take action at first, but then they're not going to be inspired as much as they're going to be motivated. And then they're going to be motivated for what? For the thing that actually will lead them away from their progress. So as it relates to physical anything, whether it's getting good grades in school or whether it's doing something, performance-wise, if you're going to eat poorly, like I see a lot of times in the summer, and I'm not saying to get rid of this, I'm just saying don't use this just solely as the reward. People will go get ice cream, or they'll go get fast food or something like that, or whatever it is that person likes. But if it's not healthy and it's unsustainable to help you progress, then what happens when the person succeeds more? They're gonna put more stress on themselves, and then they're gonna want and crave that more. And you kind of create your own doom loop. And you do it unknowingly, because a lot of us as parents and or coaches, like when we show our gratitude or our appreciation, we want it to be received. So if we're used to buying ice cream all the time to show our gratitude, and just for the record, like we were driving home from camp the other day and I was like, hey, listen, I think the kids might actually like ice cream right now. And it was ridiculously late and it made no sense. But it wasn't like it's something we always do. It's once in a, honestly, I don't even remember the last time that I actually went out and bought ice cream and got, ice cream cones for kids or whatever. I can't remember it, which means it was a long time ago. So I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe this is an opportunity to. It wasn't like a reward for anything. It was just like capping off a weekend, and I thought it might be a good emotional experience to have that based on the fact that I thought everybody would enjoy it. Now, if I did this all the time, though, you could see how this would be a problem. And people do this all the time, and then they wonder why their kids are either overweight or they're struggling with performing at their highest level because of the weight, or because they're not doing the strength and conditioning that they need to, or they're not practicing at the level they need to. And this isn't just in athletics, this is also academically. Sugar in your system is not, it's okay when it's being used, and even then, it's not really like great. It's great if it's natural and it's going to be used and it has a purpose. And every once in a while to celebrate with stuff like that, that's okay. But if you're going to do it all the time and it's the only thing that you have as a reward, you're setting up a house of cards. And then you wonder why a kid is having a hard time with nutrition, or why they're having a hard time with getting clear on their goals and figuring out that they should celebrate their victories. And how can they healthily celebrate their victories? Every once in a while, it's okay. But all the time, it's just not necessary. So please rethink. And then if you're, we see people post the same things all the time. They're posting, taking them out for this to celebrate. And could you celebrate without doing something like that? Is there another way that's healthy, that's more sustainable to leading them to those accomplishments?